said, man, at 7 o'clock, welcome to the Boxing Rundown, everybody. I'm your host, Boxing Ruckus, along with, let's let the guests jump in first. Go ahead. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Go first. You know how to do it.
Hey guys, I'm Cynthia Conte here, the Real Fight Girl. It's so good to sit here and chat with you boys. You know, we're gonna spill some tea and gossip and talk shit like we always do. Welcome.
Hey, by the way, before we go into Steve's intro, you picked the wrong guest if you don't want us to curse. You know that, right? Just warning you.
No, right?
Steve,
oh, that's right. We're not supposed to curse on this show. It's a family show.
Much.
Who cares?
Not that much, bro.
Oh, sorry.
Try to keep it PG.
All right.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Hey, you might be able to drop some here and there, but not so many, bro. All right, go ahead.
Steven Cureño, KO Artist Sports. Man, I appreciate you guys having me, man. It's been a while. I remember last time, I think I was on the show with Cynthia too when we were at the
Legends
studio.
No, Legends at the Rock. This is Legends, bro.
Legends.
Legends.
The Rock. The same difference.
It's the same atmosphere. All right, go ahead, guys.
Go ahead, Fern.
I'm Fern, Fernando Pimentel. You guys already know me, so you guys know what to do. Let's go. Let's get going.
That's right. And again, Big Stacks here, Supreme Boxing. Good to have you guys. Cynthia back on the show again. Steve, the homie. So yeah, man, good to have you guys.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys, don't forget, man, hit that share button, everybody. That's how we pay the bills. All right, so let's get it going. I want to go to the UK for a little bit. Clarissa Shields versus Emma Cosin. Shields gets the unanimous decision, but there was drama at the end of the fight. Did anybody catch that?
There wasn't drama at the end of the fight. That was the best action of the fight. What are you talking about?
All right.
That was the best
go
part
ahead.
of the night
You do
right
it
there.
there. You do it. You share it with everybody.
No, hey, look. Okay, so these two have history. If you don't know, they actually have fought in the Olympics and everything like that. And when they did, actually not in the Olympics, I believe the amateurs. And when they did, the opponent, I forget her name right now. It escapes my mind.
Savannah Marshall.
Savannah Marshall actually beat Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields' claim to fame, obviously, is her 2 gold medals and everything like that. At the end of the day, you could pose around with those 2 gold medals, but she actually holds a victory over you. And that's actually saying a lot for her. So good for her. It's going to make for a good fight. I like what Clarissa said. She wouldn't come to the US for her, so she went to the UK for her. Clarissa Shields using her mouth to promote herself and her actions to back it up, which is what we actually ask from our boxers. So yeah. I'm all for it. Love it.
Opinions, anybody else?
I definitely feel that the best part by far was the end when Savannah Marshall was like, if you fight like that, I'll wipe the floor with you. And Clarissa's like, you couldn't wipe my draws.
Who's this draw still, bro?
Well, she didn't know that's what she said. She was like, I meant to say ass, but you know.
Right. Yeah, I think Clarissa looked good. I mean, Clarissa's undisputed at junior middle and middle. No, not middleweight. Junior middle and what else? Super middle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, we're talking about like who's the only other person in boxing that's like undisputed. Like we got kind of like Canelo. I guess Cambosis. Maybe probably you want to call him undisputed. Like, so for her to, I see that. Her power, man, I've always had an issue with this. I think most of you guys know this. I always have an issue with 2-minute rounds for girls, for women.
You're at the right show, bro.
Bro, I've always had an issue with it. I talk to the WBC about it every chance I get. And, they have their science or whatever that they said they've done. But I feel like that's a hard sell when we see girls fight in the UFC for 5-minute rounds every weekend. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Amen.
So, I really think Clarissa probably would have got the knockout had they been 3-minute rounds. But, it is what it is. She looked good. She dominated, won every round. And, Savannah's, I know Savannah's confident. That's great. But I think she's in for it against the GOAT. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Richard Bautista, what's up, big dog? Anybody else has any opinions on it?
I think it's going to be a great fight. I mean, it's brewing. It's going to have to happen because I know Savannah Marshall has a fight in a couple months. So if you're victorious, then yes, let this fight finally happen. Do it in the UK. I mean, shit, Clarissa did win some fans. Yeah. And so just reading her Twitter feed, I even tell her all the time to this day, I go, you can't fight everyone on
day.
Twitter.
Hey.
To this day. I'm not paying you, okay, radio. But it's one of those things that she looked better. Like she had her way with Kozin. And I know that she was looking for the knockout early, which she always does, but hell, you know, a win's a win. If you can get it, if you can win and not get damaged and hurt, so be it. But I'm really curious to see how that fight's going to happen. I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, Savannah's going to sweep her," like she's going based on
amateur
power. Yeah, and just I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm so indifferent because I don't know, because Clarissa has learned so much. She looked different, and I think also training with Floyd helping her, and then she even saw her flaws, but she needs to go back and then go from there. But I think she's really learning more about herself and the way she's carrying herself and carrying her power in the ring, using her mouth, but really backing it up in the ring this time.
You know, I think one thing on that though is that I think she has to not want to go in there and try to avenge the loss and let that get to her, like where she's so pumped up, where she's not showing that defense, because she has been dropped before. You know, she has been hit, she has been dropped before. So I think she needs to like kind of contain all that energy and just focus on winning the fight instead of going in there and just trying to avenge it and just go wild, you know, because sometimes Clarissa does have that wild streak to her, and that's where you get caught. You know, a lot of times when your defense
with heart,
but not, you know, and it's, you know, I don't know how much it's going to sit in the back of the mind that she actually did beat her. I didn't watch the amateur fight, so I don't know how that fight actually played out. That's something I'm going to have to go back and take a look at. But, you know, anytime you get beat by somebody, you know, I'm sure that loss is going to sit in the back of your head. Now, whether it was a close fight and it was on points, you know, due to a decision, I'm sure it was on points, because they would have said, you know, she knocked Clarissa out. So I'm sure it was on points, but how bad was it? You know, I mean, and that's what I want to take a look at, because a lot of times how you lose also sits in the back of your head, you know?
But you also have to remember, I'm sorry, really fast. You also have to remember that was the amateurs. Like that was the one that beat Errol Spence. And we always ask, oh my God, you beat Errol Spence. Like you're the only one that can say that. But it was the amateurs. And he even said, I forgot his name. He even said, well, that was the amateurs. Like we're still learning. Like what I know now is not what I knew then. So, you know, I mean, Chris is great and everything, but who knows? Savannah Marshall could just totally not do well at all, and Clarissa just gives her a boxing a clinic. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do one question and everybody just give me your answer. So do you guys think, and I think Stacks kind of hit on it, but also Cynthia hit on it, do you guys think that the defeat that Savannah poses on Clarissa is gonna affect her on the rematch? That's it.
I don't think it'll affect her on in the rematch. What I do think it'll do though would become a good selling point if that's where they put the focus on, especially with Clarissa and the mouth that she has and how she's actually able to promote things. If she could actually make it into a good narrative and a very good storyline, like a redemption one, it'll work perfectly. I don't think it's actually going to affect her in the ring though, but it'll affect her in the marketing of the fight.
Mm-hmm. And you know, a good thing about just kind of seeing their interaction this weekend is, you know, Savannah's seemed to be a good mouthpiece. You know, they put the camera on her during the fight. She kind of did the like she was falling asleep thing, like that was funny. You know, the little back and forth, like yeah. So the fact that she has a win over her too, I think it just all adds to the soup of what the whole fight promotion is going to be. You know what I mean?
I like it. Anybody else?
No, I agree with everything.
Yeah, same thing here. You know, the banter's there between those two, so it's gonna lead up to a good fight. You know,
for sure.
Yeah, especially on the heels of like Taylor, Serrano, like women's boxing. It's like these are the fights that this fight has to happen. If it doesn't happen, blame the promoters. Blame unless Savannah Marshall loses, then that fight goes kind of. It's not there. It's just but But it will happen. It will happen.
All right. No, let's go to the next one. Chris Jenkins versus Julius Indongo. Jenkins wins by decision. Opinions?
I did not watch the fight, so I cannot. I have a baby, okay? I have to be very selective of what I watch. I can't watch too much boxing with my baby.
No, I got you. Hey, big shout outs to Paul Beck. Paul Beck is in the chat, man. What's up, Paul? Hey, Anthony. No. You're saying hi to your cousin, right, Benny? All right. So here we go. I mean, we weren't surprised. I think the only one that was surprised was Fern, but Fern kind of redeemed himself with the main event for the PBC fight. So there you go, right, Fern? So we were the whole rundown voted that Indongo was gonna lose, right? So that's not a surprise, except for you. But no problem. It was a snooze fest on that one too, bro. So don't worry. All right, let's go to the main event. Chris Eubanks Jr. versus Liam Williams. Eubanks Jr. gets the UD, and he says he wants Triple G, man. What up?
Man, watching the return of Roy Jones was kind of crazy, huh?
Oh, damn! This is why we bring Steven here, man.
Roy, you could tell Roy has been around Roy a long time, because he was definitely just like Roy reincarnated. Obviously not with like that lightning power, right? Obviously just style wise, but that jab, man, it was like a 6-inch jab, and whenever Liam thought about coming forward, he just popped it in his face, and down he went. It was a really good performance by Eubank.
Yeah.
It is Liam Williams. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot to do before you start talking about Triple G and Charlo and Andrade, and that was at 160, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think there's a lot to do before you get there, but I mean, good for him. It was a great win in the guy's hometown. I'm sure it was nice kind of seeing Roy's style back for a little while.
No,
he might actually be able to pull one of those names out, considering what has come out from England since then, and that it's actually broken numbers. Like, it's actually done really good numbers, that it broke previous records from things that have been seen in the UK on that channel. So if he's able to get some views like that with a guy like Liam Williams, imagine what he could do against like an Andrade, a Charlo, a Triple G. So he might actually be able to get someone to go there. And we know someone like Triple G will travel. So who knows? It might happen.
He has to first fight Murata, who's the fight got canceled or postponed, excuse me. So, but I don't know. I mean, Gennady, let him do whatever. Honestly, when they say Gennady picks his people, of course, but why not? He's earned the right to do it. Right. And then Andrade, he's moving up, he's vacating his belt because no one wants to fight him. I mean, I get he's a very dangerous fighter because his style is very boring, but boring wins fights sometimes. He's a technician. It's very interesting, but for him to vacate and be like, dude, even Canelo doesn't want to fight him. And, come on. So it must be telling, but I think that with Eubanks, yes, he did break records at Sky Sports. Their numbers were off the charts, but I think he would need a couple more fights. I don't care, like a step below, maybe a Charlo. I would say a Charlo before a Gennady. Because he doesn't have a belt. He doesn't have a belt, and Gennady's looking to buy belts. To collect belts, and Murata has a belt. Charlo has a belt. So I think his next is Eddie Hearn his promoter. I'm not even sure.
No.
Is it?
No.
Frank Warren, I think.
Frank
Warren.
Whoever they should try to get Charlo.
That was actually a Pro Bellum show, I believe, wasn't it?
Or Boxer? No, it was
Boxer.
It was Boxer.
Yeah.
So if they were really smart, they should go to Charlo. Charlo can blow up his image up in the UK, get the fans there. Why not? Get him out of Texas and the US. And there you go. Bring their fan base.
Money talks, and it just comes down to what they have to offer to some of these champions and these American fighters, to actually take the trip over to the pond, and how much money they can actually bring in. Honestly, even somebody like a Gabriel Rosado, would be good for a Eubank.
That's a good one.
Rosado's always in exciting fights. He's been there. You got that kid from Ireland, O'Sullivan. There's some names out there, some big names that aren't necessarily champions that can draw big crowds in the UK. And actually be a stepping stone and a measuring stick for Eubank to see what he's really made of.
Yeah.
When you mentioned one of those guys, Anthony, it made me think of Jaime Munguia.
Jaime Munguia.
And Eubank would be a good fight, and that that can sell really good over there. It could sell good here. That'd be a good one.
Exactly.
There you go.
Well, even with Andre, when I asked Jaime Munguia the other day during an interview, Andre decided to move up in weight, so that belt's going to be vacated. So Eubanks, Munguia, I know Munguia is going to be looking to fight for that belt, so that would be a really good matchup for that vacant belt. But I don't know who's in line to fight. I don't know all these.
I'm pretty sure Munguia is though.
Munguia is like number 2, 1, and 12. I think the IBF. I can't remember, but they'll make that happen. And so I mean, I think it would be good.
All right, I'm gonna give Eric Ramirez a shout out. Go Rams, bro. All right, it's Super Bowl week. All right, thank you, bro. All right, Matt. With that, let's go to was it Arizona, right? Jesse Bam Rodriguez versus Carlos Cuadras.
Woo! I predicted that shit to the T.
That's right.
So good. It's so good. So good. But honestly, he looked like a 12-year-old fighting a man, like an old man.
Exactly. So young.
It was so, I mean, that was literally the fight of the night. Too bad it was like I was going from 2 different fights, but that fight was so good. Cuadras came out. I mean, for the fact that he's been out of the ring for a while, and Bam just fought not too long ago, but he moved up 2 weight classes, challenged himself to be great. I knew he was going to win. I just knew it. I didn't know how Cuadras was going to be able to handle his speed, but I didn't know how Bam was going to be able to take on the weight, like what he took it in 4 days, I believe. But he is just, he's such an all-around fighter, like the way he moved, his footwork when he threw that uppercut, I think in the second round, I was like, that's a Loma-esque, that's a Loma move.
Exactly.
He went from southpaw to orthodox and just popped him. Oh, I'm just getting the chills. Oh, I'm so high on him. Like he is so. He's gonna be such a nightmare for so many of the little class. And Superflies are my favorite, but man, good for him. Good for him. What a fight. But Cuadras, sorry, I just had to talk. The Superflies are my peeps, okay?
No, I'm saying Cuadras has to go right now.
Yeah, Cuadras, he had a chance, but he still fought to the level of what he could. He tried his best, but Bam was just levels ahead. There's just levels, and Bam is just up there. So I think Cuadras can still bang with the others, but who knows? We'll see.
Who else going
I think I think we all kind of being around Robert and them and kind of having seen Bam, obviously like Joshua, his brother as well, like around. I was telling people this is the type of shot that Bam needed to like. This is like the only way Bam would get his shot is a circumstance like this. Like somebody pulls out, and now it's like, well, we have this guy in the card. He's ready. Like, are you gonna be the one that like to Carlos Cuadras, right? Are you gonna be the one that like gives the prospect the shot? And it was the break he needed, and it was incredible. He showed out. It was a beautiful performance. Footwork, the power was there. 2 divisions higher than where he normally fights, which is crazy. I flew in, so I went to Vegas Tuesday, but I flew into Arizona on Thursday to cover the press conference because I wanted to talk to Bam and Carlos and Eddie and them. And Bam made a joke to me because I think his older brother, right? Yeah, Joshua's his older brother, fights at 115, and he had normally fights at 108, right? So I was like, well, hey, if you win, like you and your brother could kind of like take over the division, right? And he just joked with me. He's like, yeah, we're gonna unify. But yeah, man, congrats to Bam, man. He's the man. He young champion. He said he's planning on just dropping the belt and going back down to 108. So we'll see. I don't know if that's still the plan now that he's become champ.
Hold on. Don't give me those thoughts because those are gonna be part of the.
He said in the.
Cut it out, Cynthia. Cut it out.
Said in the.
I'm gonna mute you.
Mute her. I'm gonna mute her.
We're gonna discuss this later on. What he's saying.
Save it. Oh, I got me. Next, who wants to go next?
Gotcha,
Who wants to
Ruckus.
go-
All right. No, you know what though? It's like I said last week, man. I think he just caught Carlos Cuadras at the right time. There's been that round robin of fights between Sorong Vasai, Cuadras, Gallo Estrada, and Chocolatito for the longest time, for years now. You know, it started back with the original Superfly card. You know, and now, you know, it's a passing of the torch is basically what it is. This kid Bam came up and he tested his power. He dared himself to be great, and he accomplished it, man. He took it. His angles, his speed, I think, was just too much for Cuadras. Cuadras is, you know, he's just a notch down from championship level anymore, you know, and it happens with those fighters. Sometimes, you know, the only fighter that's undefeated in boxing, you know, besides Floyd, is Father Time, you know, and that happens, you know, and sometimes you start losing those steps. And it's just that millisecond, and that's exactly what it was in that second round. It was just that quick second that he shot that angle and caught him with that uppercut, and that's all it took, you know. And you know, Cuadras, he went out there. He's a hell of a warrior. He's been in wars. He gave Bam just about everything he could handle, and Bam overcame, you know. And so, not taking anything away from Cuadras, but Bam is just, like she said, there's levels, and he's just that much above right now. And he's the future. You know, he's the future.
Bam needs to take advantage of, as he just said, he is the future. Bam, what he needs to do is take advantage of this situation. Thankfully, he won. I don't want him to go in the route of Isaac Pitbull Cruz, who had an amazing showing against Gervonta Davis 2 months ago in December. But where is he now? What the hell is he doing? Where is he? You know, Bam needs to take this momentum. Bam needs to take this momentum and move it. The good thing is with him is he already tested himself with one of the 4 main guys at that division. He's got Sorong Vasai, Chocolatito, and Gallo Estrada. If Bam can keep the weight up and actually go through that bracket right there, he will become a megastar and a pound-for-pound fighter if he could get all those guys out. But he needs to actually take advantage of this. I know that he said he may vacate, but that's up to his decision and his team. He should keep it and try to go through that.
But the thing is, those three names that you just threw out there, Gallo Estrada, Chocolatito, and Sorong Vasai, they're not all world champions. You know, Ancajas is a world champion, and I believe that he can take Ancajas out and be a unified champion at Superfly and make some real money. You know, I mean, Franco.
Hold up. I won't mute everybody. Let's wait on that, because that's a lot of meat for these people right now, man. You guys are giving a lot of meat. All right. Xavier says, let's see if you guys agree. Xavier Orozco says he'll be much better the next time he fights. Do you guys agree or disagree? There you go.
Depends on
that's
the
from
opponent.
the X-Men.
It depends on who makes fights. I'll make fights.
Styles makes fights.
Thank you.
Depends on the opponent.
Jinx, you're gonna cope.
Who?
Yeah, I think he's also very young and still learning a lot. Obviously, you learned a lot in this fight. Even with a win, you still learn a lot. You know, fighting a veteran like that. So it's only upwards for him. As far as him learning wise, you know what I mean.
Hilo Indio says Omar El Relámpago Juarez, Brownsville, Texas. What's going on with that? Give me more, brother. I need to know more.
All I know is this. Do any of us have the back knee problem that Cuadras has, though? Because that shit is disgusting.
Oh my god, dude.
That back knee problem is that thing is
disgusting. You remind me of hopefully he pops in here right now. You don't talk about it. Cut it out, my god. All right, going to Vegas. And Steven will help us out with some of this. Luis Neri versus Carlos Castro. Pantera Neri gets a split decision. I actually think he got the unanimous decision, bro. In my scorecard, he had the unanimous. I didn't see Carlos Castro winning any of the rounds. You know, even though Carlos Castro is one of our past guests, I saw Luis Neri really step it up, man. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree.
Agree.
I caught some of the fight. That was kind of like right when I was getting there, so I saw some of the rounds. And from what I saw, I mean, Neri seemed to be doing more of the rounds that I saw. But I can't really give a take on the whole fight.
I mean, based on what I saw, that we were kind of wondering to see if Neri was going to. First off, because he wasn't making weight and he didn't do any interviews, so he's very quiet. So. I mean, are we surprised? No, he always misses. I'm not gonna say he always misses weight, but he always have weight problems. But I think he did get dropped. I don't remember what round, but he came back and ended that round with a 17-18 punch combo. Like all of them were unanswered. I was like, oh my god. So it was interesting to see how Neri was going to be able to pursue on from then on, but he just. he looked good. I'm not a Neri fan, but he looked really good. Those scorecards are trash. Sorry.
Yeah.
Everybody agrees?
I think so too. You know, I mean, Carlos, he just didn't have it that night. You know, he actually looked drained himself going in. His eyes looked a little sunk in during the weigh-in. He looked a little tired, a little wore out. I don't know if he's outgrown the
division,
the super bantamweight division, but you know, I mean, Carlos, he's tall for the division, and maybe it was just weight cut, but you know, Neri was on his game, you know, and I'm not making any excuses for Carlos, but you know, sometimes that happens. You know, those weight cuts, they'll drain you, you know, especially at those lower weights. People think, oh, it's only a pound, it's only 2 pounds or whatnot, but when you're only 122 pounds, you know, that's a lot of weight, especially when you're dry, you know, and you got nothing else to lose. It's tough.
I got nothing really to add to it. Neri pulled out a win and everything. We already know how we feel about Neri. None of us really like the way he disrespects the sport with his continued weight issues and problems. But hey, if he gets a win, guess what? Something's gonna happen. He's gonna get a big fight, and what happened at the Figueroa fight is basically gonna repeat itself again.
You know what? Neri got me back again, bro. I mean, screw the weight issues, bro. I'm with it, dude. I'm with it. Neri looked good, dog.
Team Neri.
I'm Team Neri, bro. And hopefully he fights Denny Roman. Let's see if he gets Denny Roman, man.
You want Neri dead?
I'd rather see that, dude. Than
you want Neri dead?
That's I want to see that some fights. You know what I mean? I want to see it, bro. All right, Steven. No, everybody made their opinions, right? Yeah. All right, bro. I'm gonna give a shout out, bro. I'll give him a shout out. All right, I guess he's a fighter. So the Cowboy brings it, bro. I'm gonna give him a shout out. Omar, big shout out to you, bro. There you go. All right, let's go to Leo Santa Cruz versus Teena Carvajal. Leo needed to finish that one, but I mean, the right guy won.
No. The right guy won. Here's the issue: we're stuck on Santa Cruz because we know the guy. Like all of us here actually know the guy. We're stuck on him, and we like what he's done in the past at lower weights. The weight that he's at right now, he just does not carry power. He doesn't carry the power, and that's why he couldn't finish the fighter off. He just couldn't finish Carvajal off because of that. When it comes to Leo, he's best suited at 122 and one lower. This weight class. He can't. His power's not there.
No, his feather, at 26, and I think him calling out, Mark Maxayo, I think that's a good matchup for him. You know, the WBC loves Leo. Maxayo's the WBC champion. You know, so I could see that match happening. I can see Leo, petitioning the WBC because, as we all know, once you're a champion, you're no longer ranked. So him holding one of the titles, either he vacates it or he petitions the BC to unify the titles, and I can see them letting Leo fight for that title against Maxayo.
Yeah, what Fern said, what you guys said already is true. The power, man, those body shots he was ripping on Keenan were like should have been debilitating, man, and they definitely hurt. You could tell it bothered him, but I think part of it not only is it maybe Leo's power isn't that big, but these guys are huge. Like Keenan is a big guy, so it affects them different too. They could absorb it, better. But yeah, I think the Mark fight is perfect. I think me and Cynthia were texting that night with the homegirl Giandra, and I was like, man, Mark and Leo in LA would be like super dope. That'd be like that would sell out Staples or Crypto, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Staples always going to be Staples.
Who would Cynthia go for though?
What?
Who would Cynthia go for? Who would she go for? Who would she root for?
Hey, I'll tell you this. If that fight happens, the week before the fight, we're having the rundown and we're having a media breakdown. And I want to hear your prediction that night.
I'm down.
That's right.
Okay.
Wow, what is it?
No comment.
No, but you know what I did? God, no. What I did enjoy about Leo Santa Cruz, to see him back in the ring finally, and be his father. He looked great. Oh, yeah. So those are the great takeaways from that fight.
Yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna ask the question. I'm gonna ask the Xavier question. I know. I want to do the question for Xavier, and then I'll do the troll, dude. You know we have a troll, Steven. Now I don't know if you remember him, but we still have him. All right. Xavier Orozco said, "Did anyone here pay for that $74.99 pay-per-view?" I mean, I'll let you guys answer. Well, I know Steven did it because he had credentials.
I
but
was
anybody
there,
else?
so
Yeah, he
that's
was
the only
there.
reason why. Otherwise,
I did.
All right, man. Here we go. You guys let me know, everybody that's watching, if you guys paid for it, but I'm pretty sure people didn't pay for it. Jaime Cosecho, our famous troll, says it's at a Fight Guys reunion.
It's a Fight Guys YouTube reunion. Where's Fred and Chris Angel?
Oh.
Chris Angel.
What are you talking about now?
Yeah.
He's talking about Dominic. He's talking about Dominic.
Oh my God! No.
He's talking about Dominic. Damn.
Damn,
I'm calling
man.
Chris Angel. He looks like
Chris-
Stefan. He looks like Stefan from Saturday Night Live. That's what Dominic looks like.
Yeah, bro. All right, man.
Yo,
Moving
shout
on,
out to
dude.
Dominic. I don't know if too many people know about this, but the very first Fight Guys, at least the one that I was part of, I want to say it was the first one at Dominic's house,
Yep.
and Dominic had a pet pigeon.
Yes.
Like Tyson.
He had a pet pigeon.
Yes. He
It
had a
was
pet
just like a
pigeon.
pigeon in the crib. It was dope.
Fucking primo emo.
I know,
Yeah.
bro. Come on now. All right, man. Let's go to Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. What did you think about it? And then don't really get into too heavy because we're gonna get into it a little bit heavier a little bit later. But what did you guys think?
It was a great showing for Keith Thurman. It was a great showing for Keith Thurman. Nobody really knew what he was gonna bring, how he looked. Most of the fight, he actually looked really sharp, looked really good, popping that jab. His right was doing great. He got caught to the body in the 8th round, but beyond that, I didn't really see Mario doing much.
I don't think it was a great showing for Thurman. I think he did what he was supposed to do. You know, I mean,
2.5 years off in the
Mario
ring.
moved up. Mario moved up in weight. I don't really know how good Mario Ramos is. You know, yeah, he did hang in there with Tank for a while.
Wait, no,
Barrios. Mario Barrios, yeah. You know, so him going up there with somebody like Thurman, who's been in there with the best of the best, you know, honestly, I think Thurman's showing wasn't as good as it could have been. You know,
Don't debate. I'll mute you guys right now. Don't debate. We'll get into it right now, man. Hold on, dog. I'm just getting thoughts right now, dude. Thoughts.
I think, I mean, a lot of people say Keith is back. I think he did better than I expected. I mean, he came in at 145, which is, I mean, it's crazy to me because usually fighters come in like half a pound because they're just like ready to eat. But for him to come in 2 pounds underweight, and I know that he was hungry because his last fight was against Manny Pacquiao. So yes, of course, your next fight, you've got to win your fight. You have to win. And especially Mario Barrios coming up in weight, his last fight against Tank Davis. I mean, he did well, but that was at a lower weight class. And I mean, we all knew Thurman had a power punch. Look at his face. He turned him into Klingon. Like, come on. Like his nose, his eyes. Am I wrong?
Mario Barrios is watching right now, Cynthia.
I know. I love Mario. I mean, I love you, Mario. But it was like he put on a good showing. But it was just that he had no answers, and so. But it was like Errol said, he was tailor made. That fight was tailor made.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you know, there's two sides to the story, right? Like Mario is coming up. Mario looked big even at welterweight, even though he's, you know, his first fight at welterweight, he was bigger than Thurman, you know, like height wise, like length wise, all that. I think you know, he wasn't that big of a puncher at 140, so it's not like that's gonna, you know, you don't expect that to get better, you know, moving up. I thought Thurman looked good. I think it was the best we could have asked for. Like maybe you could have got a knockout, right? But that's not giving credit to the good fighter that Barrios really is. You know what I mean? I think Thurman, that was almost 3 years off. It was 900 something days. Like that's almost 3 years off, and had the hand surgery. You know, you have to be, you know, there's a lot of questions that you're trying to get answered yourself in the fight. You know what I mean? Like, how's your hand going to hold up? You know what I mean? Like, what's it going to feel like once you start landing it on people? Things like that. Even he himself getting hit again. You know, I mean, he just lost. He got dropped by Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, it was the great Manny Pacquiao, but, you know, he's 40 years old. A lot of people thought Thurman was going to beat him. So that's a big confidence. That's you know, you got knocked off your pedestal, you know. So I think it was a great performance. Like, he was in with a tough guy. You know, he hurt him. And now it's okay. You got the dust off, and doesn't seem like he was injured. He seemed like he was fine. And so hopefully, we don't have to wait another, like couple years to see Keith. I know that was kind of an issue. He'd get injured, and then we'd wait, a year and a half, 2 years or something like that. Hopefully we get Keith again, this year, hopefully. And hopefully against a good name, because when you think about the top welterweights in the world, he's what, 4 at worst? Like he's like 5.
He's top 5. He's top 5.
He's top 5 at least.
But he's not
like
going to be
when
getting
you talk about credentials and everything, was there Spence, Crawford?
You got Virgil, you got Boots Ennis.
Yes.
I think Virgil beats him. I think Boot beats him.
Oh,
No, but see, that-
Yeah, but I'm talking
That's
credentials.
That's opinion. That's opinion. Yeah.
We're talking
Like current
resume.
credentials.
Resume.
Okay,
Credentials.
we're talking about
Thurman's
resume.
Yeah, I'm not just like current
You're talking about a
credentials.
fighter. You're talking about a fighter in Keith Thurman who fought somebody coming off a loss at a lower weight class who got hurt in the 8th
I know.
round, pulled his mouthpiece off to breathe. Like, come
I
on.
know, but we don't want to debate it.
But it was a
We don't
great
wanna debate it
performance.
yet.
Nah.
Right. I don't want to debate it yet. Hold on. Chill
Well,
out.
when do you want to
All
debate
right.
it then?
In a little bit. Let's just move forward. All right, I want to give a big shout out because, I'll give a shout out when I do my what's really grinding my gears. I'll give it there. But let's go to what's hot in boxing. First of all, I want to ask for some prayers for Robert Easter Jr. We need some prayers for him, man. He was robbed and shot multiple times. He pulled out really good from the surgery, apparently, right? Anybody wants to add some more info on it? Okay, but I mean, come on, man. People are crazy out there. So go ahead. Who wants to speak on it?
No, I did see that he tweeted. He said he's like, man, I'm in a lot of pain. So at least like we know that he's awake, he's doing all right. But it's just unfortunate. My God, I hate people. You know what? There's really a lot of bad people. Can you guys stop it with your shit and just put your guns down? Stop fucking robbing people. It's
Seriously.
not very nice.
Yeah, it's just it's a blessing that he's alive. You know what I mean? Because if you're getting shot 3 times in the arm, that's that's pretty close to ending your life there. So thank God he's alive, and just hopefully he recovers. I pray for his the best recovery he could get.
Yeah, man. I think everybody right. What's going on with you, Fernando?
Not much to add, my man got robbed and he got shot. Thankfully, he pulled through. None of the shot wounds were severe injuries. Needed surgery just to get him out, and he's doing well. I'm happy for that. It's a shitty situation. I really got nothing to add.
All right, man. Here we go, man. Pushing through there. All right. Eddie Hearn says Camboso versus Haney more important than Loma versus Camboso. Thoughts?
Of course he's gonna say that
Of course he's gonna
because
say it.
I'm asking you guys. Do you guys agree with that or not?
no, okay, no,
I don't.
No,
I get what he's. I mean, obviously he's a promoter and he has to say that, but I get from like the perspective of the belts, because that was one of the questions I asked Eddie about on Thursday was like, what's the latest, what's going on, and he gave me that spiel too, and his way of explaining it was, it's just like, Cambosos should be undisputed. I see him as undisputed. We all see him as undisputed, but truthfully, Devin Haney has a WBC title. You know what I mean? Like he just has one. It's a messed up situation, but he does have it. So I see what Eddie means as far as that's it. You could tell him to be quiet. You know what I mean? Like if you could tell everyone who's Team Haney, just I got all the belts. But I think legacy wise, Loma is the fight. Like if you could be Loma, that's something to hang your hat on.
Exactly. I don't see Haney beating Loma, and I think has a big part to do with it too. Haney can go over there and beat Cambosos and become undisputed and hold everything, the WBC regular title and the franchise title, and have all the belts and be the truly undisputed champion of the world. But will he ever give Loma a chance, after that? Where if Loma goes over there and then challenges Haney for that one belt, that's it for Haney, as far as being a champion is. But again, that's my opinion,
it's all gonna come down to money. That's just what it's gonna come down to. That's it.
That's it.
What did you guys think of that rumor about supposedly DAZN doesn't want Haney?
I read
Did
that.
you guys see that?
I read that.
Why?
I didn't all. I mean, it could have like it was just a rumor. Like I said, I'm not spreading it. I'm just telling you.
I'm not spreading it,
You
but
read it on Twitter.
You just said it again, bro. So you're spreading it.
I'm not saying I heard. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Like I heard from the zone.
But I thought he did good numbers with the zone. Fern, you're a big Haney supporter. Does he do good number?
He does decent numbers with the zone. The problem with the zone and the streaming services, they never really release the numbers. But the fact that even with him not quote unquote getting good numbers, they still promote him. They still put on him. He was on the show this past weekend. Yeah. He was getting interviewed by Chris Mannix. I'm saying it's like the guys, no matter what, is always there. They're trying to cater to him, but I just think it's a rumor. I don't really think it's something that's like that has concrete.
It didn't make sense to me either. That's why I was asking if you like. That's why
all I know is that he is promotional and he is a network free agent.
Absolutely, he's his own promoter.
Yeah.
So
maybe they're trying to lock him down, dude, with the rumor.
Maybe.
No, that's what they do. Remember, Canelo's a promotional free agent, but he works with Eddie Hearn, so.
Yeah.
All right.
Needs to happen. They need to book one of those fights ASAP.
I'm trying to go to Australia.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to go to Australia.
You like it, bro. All right, let's go to this one. I think Steven's going to give us a lot of info on this one. Pitbull Cruz says Ryan never initiated negotiations for the fight. What do y'all think? You guys think that Ryan was just doing Twitter wars?
Man, I was gonna. I'm gonna. I don't know. I feel like I wanted to wait for, but that really grinds my gears to talk about the life.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I'll wait. All right. Okay. What do you think, Fern? Go ahead, man. Give it to him. No, either. All right, Cynthia, go ahead.
I can't, bro. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like,
you believe him or not?
Okay, so Isaac says that Ryan Garcia didn't do anything, right?
Right.
Okay. That could be accurate, but at the same time, it's wrong because Ryan Garcia isn't supposed to be doing anything for him. It's Oscar De La Hoya who's supposed to be doing it. So he could say Ryan Garcia didn't offer him a fight. I'm saying he could say that, and that's 1,000% accurate because at the end of the day, it's not Ryan Garcia who offers you the fight. It's Oscar De La Hoya, Ryan Garcia's promoter, who's supposed to do it. So I'm confused at what the hell he's trying to say.
Exactly. There you go. Cynthia.
I guess maybe Isaac was DMing Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia is like, yeah, maybe let's get a fight together. But at the end of the day, it's Lupe and Oscar. They're going to be negotiating the fight and the terms. And is Isaac, Isaac's a great fighter, but dollars make sense? No, not really. When you have Kambosos, you have Haney, you have all these other fights, cha-ching. So that is my main thing. So of course, that's just another thing. These fighters fucking talk stupid. I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead.
Don't worry.
Yeah, shit.
But these, they all talk, and so of course, maybe sometimes they'll just be like, let's just say something just to get them pissed off. But Ryan's gonna fight when Ryan comes out and fights, and it's always a surprise of who it's gonna be, and it's always gonna be someone we never thought it would be.
Oh, he's fighting that Pogba.
Hold on, Fern. Hold on. Give Stacks a chance.
Yeah.
No, I mean.
You want Stacks to talk about Ryan? Really? You want Stacks to talk about Ryan?
To piggyback on what Cynthia was saying, Pitbull Cruz is a high risk, low reward. It comes down to money, and if he's gonna be fighting somebody, at a high risk, he's gonna be getting paid, and it's gonna be somebody that's gonna bring in big time money, like Kambosos, like a Tank Davis, somebody like that. They're not gonna negotiate peanuts with the chance for Oscar to lose his $10 million boy, to Isaac Cruz. That's just not gonna happen. So when you get the high risk, low rewards, forget about it. That's a fight that we won't see.
All right, so this was a Fern. All right. So since we were on the Ryan topic, Golden Boy told us it's a big announcement. Ryan's fighting somebody big. I'm going to let Fern talk about it first. On April 9, Ryan Garcia will be fighting Emmanuel Tagbo for the IBO champ. I don't know what the fuck, but go ahead.
If that's their definition of big, I would hate to see them go small. That's all I got to say about that. If that's their definition of big, I would
Let's see
hate to
brains.
see what a small show is for that.
Food.
Ooh.
Right.
Hey, Emmanuel, dude, Emmanuel Tugboat is good, bro. To go, whatever. Go ahead. Who else wants to jump on this bad boy?
You guys let our guests go.
Fern, it's Fern. It's the
Fern.
fight we've all been asking for.
Yes, bro. Wake up.
This is the one, bro. This is the one.
I went to the one, and
You
the one was Floyd
haven't
Mayweather versus Canelo.
You haven't been listening to the boxing chat rooms? This is all they're talking about right now.
We won Emmanuel.
Emmanuel to go. Or whatever.
Oh, hey! You know what? I will say this. Ryan did want to fight an Emmanuel, but it was Emmanuel Pacquiao. But you know, like no.
He was close. He got half. He got half.
He got half of it, right? Oh,
you know, in all reality, I think similar to Keith in the sense that Ryan's coming off of a hand injury, like a long layoff. Well, I don't know how long it's been now for Ryan, but for sure the hand injury, I'm sure is a question in his mind that he needs to answer, and you'd rather answer it in the ring against, rather answer it in the ring against Emmanuel to go than freaking, Isaac Cruz or something. You know what I mean?
I'm just.
Oh, Cynthia, you're not gonna say anything about that, huh?
No, I'm looking to see where he's ranked. To be fair, he is this to go dude. I don't know his record. I just looked at.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I looked up Emmanuel, and he's supposed to be inactive. He's an inactive fighter. Oh.
All I know is this. When I heard his last name, I wanted to order takeout.
Oh.
To go.
That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to order takeout. I was like, all right. So he's fighting a freaking. I was like, oh, again, if this is Golden Boy having a big announcement and a big fight for Ryan Garcia, I would hate to see what they would do if they say we're going to have a small show.
Wow.
That is bad. This is bad.
Hey, Steven, you're scaring the fans, bro. They're seeing the shadow in the back. It's scary, bro.
I saw that comment on there. It's like,
just show him.
Like Michael Jackson standing back there.
Like he has one loss, but if you want, like I'm looking at the ring ratings, but if he fought Come, that would be a really good fight, a very good test against Garcia.
Right? Exactly.
I heard a voice.
Lenars is fighting, I think
Lenars is fighting in Russia.
In Russia.
Siberia or somewhere, yeah.
Siberia, he's fighting in Siberia.
Or even Jojo Diaz, that would have been such a good fight.
We've been talking about this. They are in the same promotion company. Why not do that fight?
Because
that's
Thank you.
Somebody said this is Ryan Garcia's
Children. You guys are horrible, man. You guys are bad. You guys. All right. Since this is not the fight, I mean, this is the fight we wanted. Anybody else has any what's hot in boxing? Before we go into what grinds our gears.
What's hot in boxing? Did you say?
Yeah. You have anything else?
Taylor, come on, the women's fight, dude.
Yeah, the press conference. Oh,
go.
Taylor's
Taylor.
Bro, who are you, Bob Aaron?
Okay, I have a real big. Okay, I love Bob Aaron, but what he said about the women.
Oh, you need to watch. You need to watch last week's episode on what grinds my gears. That's what I spoke about. I hated that.
Mm-hmm.
I hated that.
And it's really hard because he promotes Michaela Mayer, and Michaela was also interviewed, and she had such a great answer for Top Rank when Sky Sports or somebody interviewed her, but her answer was really, really good. It's like, that's just Bob Aaron's opinion, which he always has an interesting opinion about many, many things, and just let him talk. But luckily, it was good. He's old, but he has his own opinions, and it's fine. But Top Rank, that's not their full opinion. But I do have the issue that I like the issue that it was brought up. Would Katie Taylor like 3-minute rounds? And
she said no.
No, she said no.
Ooh,
and
Katie Taylor.
Yeah, so even Amanda said, I was so shocked that she had that answer. She goes, I thought it would be a different answer, knowing that they're both making history, both breaking barriers. They're making it's the first female card at MSG as a headliner main event, making at least 7 figures and more. and she doesn't want 2-minute rounds.
They're getting that purse.
I have kind of a theory about that too.
I don't know what their purse is, but they have said it's close to 7 million. I mean, excuse me, not seven figures.
Damn.
So good for them. I think that's awesome. I mean, thank you, Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yep. Exactly.
He's the boxing savior.
Yeah. Maybe people don't want to say it, but Jake Paul is good for fight sports.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He's good for fight
Steven,
sports.
you cut it out, Steven.
Just drop the mic on him right now.
No!
But
I'm gonna get him going.
you know, one thing I will say about what about the 3-minute round thing, I think I'm sure Amanda asked for that in the negotiations, right? But I think Amanda strategically waited till the London press conference to be like in Katie's hometown and to bring it up so that it's like, well, look at your girl said no, I said yes. Like, I'm kind of like you know what I mean? To kind of just like mental warfare kind of, because I'm sure you wouldn't ask for that in the press conference. If you really wanted that, you asked for that in the negotiation.
Yeah.
But if she said no and you were okay with it, then you bring it up in her hometown and be like, well, your girl said no. What does that say about her?
Right.
Go ahead, Cynthia.
But then if she does, let's just say Katie said yes. Let's hypothetically say yes. Then there's no undisputed title on the line. That means WBC is out, because maybe the WBA, the WBO, IBF say, okay, maybe. I think Amanda has fought a 3-minute round before, but for the WBO, I don't know. The WBC will not sanction that. So that belt would be off the line. So it's not an undisputed fight. So it's not.
I thought the WBC, when it was a unification for a women's fight and they agreed on it, then they'd approve it.
That goes against everything that they've been pushing a 3-minute fight. A unification or winning a belt, what's the difference?
Thank you, Cynthia, for finally.
1 belt versus 2 belts.
Cynthia, thank you for catching up to what the WBC normally does, and that's actually contradict themselves at many times that they get.
But that's what I don't. But I can't say that.
Have you talked to Lillian White?
Yeah,
talk to Lillian White.
Wow. We don't bring him up here, bro.
Oh yeah, but no, I'll ask WBC and I'll just ask them.
That's a good question, though. I don't know. Yeah.
Because I remember every time when I was at the WBC women's conference in the Philippines, that was brought up mainly because a lot of women were like, we would love to. It is a science. There is a science behind it. And I said, well, do people donate their brains? And they're like, well, some people won't, but it's just, they have to be in a physical beating. Like, they have to be boxing. And so there's not that many female boxing brains to be tested on. So, but there is science behind why that women should not be fighting 3 minutes around. I would like it, but if I'm going to be having if I'm going to have a slow brain bleed from the same amount of beating a man gets, and I die faster or some shit, or it can't be detected or whatever it is, I think I'll probably opt not. But women know what they're signing up for. You're signing to beat the shit out of someone and possibly die. I mean, that's just what it is. Boxing.
You know what I would like to do? I would like to have a conversation with the Serrano sisters. I would like to have a conversation with Heather the Heat Hardy. And I would also like to have a conversation with Clarissa Shields. And the reason why I bring up those names is because if the WBC is using the science, I want to know if they're using a science that actually takes into consideration getting kicked or getting choked out, because those women actually fought an MMA fight, actually fought 5-minute rounds, and actually fought the 3 rounds that were supposed to fight unless it was a championship fight. So I want to know if the science that the WBC has actually takes that into consideration, because if they don't, their science is whack.
So their science is through UCLA. Their science is not like, it's through UCLA, so it's not just like some Joe Schmo clinic.
Right.
There's a lot of money put into this.
That's why the BC went from 15 to 12 rounds during championship fights after Boom Boom Mancini killed Dooku Kim. And it's not because of kicks or getting or getting choked out. It's due to an accumulation of punches that Dooku Kim took through the 15 rounds. Now, what they're saying is that as a woman, and the skull structure is smaller than a man's, right?
Softer, yeah.
It's soft. You have that softer skull. If you take that accumulation of punches as a man does, there's more it's easier for that woman to have that brain bleed, is what they're saying. And it is done by experts at UCLA. It's not like the BC pulled this out of their ass.
Yeah.
They have a team of doctors at UCLA that have studied this.
Right,
Mhm.
but I think we had Roxy, right? And she said that in the amateurs, right here, Roxy, and she said that in the amateurs they fight 3-minute rounds, bro. If it's for like international, you know what I'm saying? So how is it?
But they fight 3 rounds. They're not fighting.
It's not 10 minutes.
They're fighting 3-minute rounds.
But I mean, we've had female fighters that say they want to do 3 minutes.
Like, it's like Cynthia said, like you know what you're signing up for.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's not a pillow fight. It's you're fighting, like, so it's dangerous.
Right.
And I guess my point with the 3-minute rounds is, one, so what are we in the business of? It's a fight. What do people like? Knockouts. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to be more entertaining, if you want these women to get more respect, I feel knockouts with more time in a round, you're going to get more knockouts. I feel, which adds more entertainment value, which you'd want to pay for more for your entertainment. You'd be willing to pay more. So I'm just saying, like, if you do want the, you know what I mean, the accolades and the accomplishments and the money that all comes with that, it comes with the danger as well. It is what it is. It's a fight.
Hold on real quick, Ruckus. So Gabriel Perales is asking a question. Has there been a women's boxing? Yes, there was.
Yes,
there was
just
a few weeks ago. But then the big major one was the one that was in Canada. It was up in Montreal, where they brought the 21-year-old girl from Mexico to fight in Montreal against the champion.
Yeah.
She took a beating. She ended up dying. Yeah.
There has been.
So you have to also remember some of that. It comes into it's not necessarily just in that fight. It's also in sparring. A lot of the injuries happen in sparring.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know.
Okay, let me ask you guys this.
Hold on. I want to say one final thing. I did like Amanda's response though at the end of it all. She's all like, "Look, I know Katie didn't want the 3-minute rounds, but it's not like it's a problem for me. I have 41 fights, 30 knockouts. I guess she has the issue." I was like, damn, that's a good dig. That's a good dig. I was like, I love that.
All right, this is the last question. It says the panel's pretty divided on this one. So if we were to go instead of 10 rounds, right? We go to 8 rounds, 3 minutes for women for championship fights. Would you guys be cool with that?
Yeah.
To what? To 10 rounds?
Okay. Instead of going for 10 rounds,
8 rounds.
You go to 8 rounds, 3 minutes for championship.
It kind of is almost the same thing when you add, like, push.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And add more. I mean,
I
don't know. It's a good start, but I mean, sometimes I do question, would women be able to really knock them out if they had 3 minutes? And also, it depends on their cardio. Like, are they going to be able to last? Because 2 minutes and 3 minutes are so different. Without 1 minute, imagine skipping rope for 1 minute, throwing punches and getting hit at the same time for 1 minute is like an eternity. Right. So I don't know. I would like to see it and try it, but I don't know. Maybe if I guess because I don't know if any other belt or sanctioning body is doing it. I'm not sure.
And you look at some of the lower weight classes, right? Take Marlon Esparza, for instance. She's fought 2 minutes and 3 minute rounds. And if you look at some of her 3 minute rounds that she's fought, she's completely winded. And, she's at flyweight, and by the fifth round, she's already completely winded compared to when she was fighting 2 minute rounds, So like Cynthia said, I mean, that's an eternity when you're fighting, a minute's an eternity to fight.
It's like when you first start training, you're like, oh my God, I'm only 1 minute in, Jesus.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, I gotta get going soon because I got a baby.
All right. Okay. Do you have
what can hang?
All right. What's
grinding your gears?
Yeah, what's grinding your gears? Give us that at least.
What's grinding my gears? When they put too many fights on at the same time.
Cut it out! Don't lie, dude. Damn it.
It's really irritating because I really like. I mean, I watched part of Leo's fight, but then I'm so focused on Bam's fight. And now, like, this whole Katie Taylor Serrano, like, those fights are gonna line up with if that fight happens with Valdez and Shakur. It's kind of I get it. We wanted more boxing, we got it, but now it's like, can you guys, instead of 1 hour, can you guys move it like 2 hours and just spread it out and not charge so much for pay-per-view. I know this whole pay-per-view thing is, but it is really expensive when you're buying streams. Oh, I'm sorry, not streams. When you're buying pay-per-view.
You're buying streams.
Alarm!
Oh, alarm.
What? So someone stream grab that.
I heard that. I was like, oh, someone ratted themselves out.
No, when you're buying and you have to pay for all these apps, it's really hard because I'm like, well, why am I paying $100 for DAZN when I can't even watch this fight, when I have to watch the ESPN fight or I have to watch a pay-per-view? I don't have that many devices. Like, if I do, I'm running from different rooms to watch this. I don't have that many Fire Sticks. Okay, guys. Okay, that's what's grinding my gears. I gotta go, guys.
Bye.
I love you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow through with Cynthia because she brought it up. I'm gonna follow through. Bye, Cynthia. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. All right, there's 52 weeks, and this is what really grinds my gear. Why is it that promoters don't work with each other, man? Like this weekend, literally, we only have one card, and that card is like, you know what I mean? Why not work with each other, promoters, televisions, stream companies, you know what I'm saying? Work with each other, man. This really grinds me, you know what I'm saying? We have a weekend that is packed with fights, but we don't have really good fights next weekend, or even looking down the third weekend of February, we don't really have good fights, you know what I'm saying? So what really grinds my gears is boxing needs to work with each other, man. I understand that you guys don't want to make the big fights, but at least work with each other when it comes to the calendar. That's what really grinds my gears. I know it grinds Cynthia's gears, and I'm going to give a big shout out to War Media, because War Media let me do a split screen, so I was able to watch both. I was able to watch the DAZN card, and I was able to watch the pay-per-view card, man. So big shout out to War Media, man. They hooked it up for me, bro.
Hit me up, y'all.
Yeah, hey, just look them up on Instagram, and that's all I can tell you guys, bro. Look them up. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Hook them up. Next, who's going next, man?
So what I don't even know what portion of the damn show we're on right now.
What grinds your gears? What grinds your gears, dog?
Go, man. Go, Steve. What grinds your gears?
Steven.
Man, what really grinds my gears is that we're currently like finding out who the best lightweight of the world is, like on Twitter. Like, I hate that the best fights at lightweight happen on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what really grinds my gears is just like, man, like kind of what Ruckus was saying earlier, as far as like boxing promotion, working together, but it's all understandable, right? Like you don't want to kind of let your golden goose and go and see what happens, but it's just everyone talks real hard on Twitter. You know what I mean? And it's like, everyone's real like gangster on Twitter.
Net bangers.
Yeah, it's just like, man, like that's. I get not fighting each other, but don't talk all that if it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Just do what it is. Just, hey, I'm on my road, whatever. I'll see you guys when I see you. Like, but don't, it's on site and all this, and then, we get to go. You know what I mean?
Hey,
yeah.
Shout out to
that's what grinds my gears.
Oh, good, got you. Yeah, I have a shout out from Gabriel Perales to your mom, Steven. I guess your mom is his daughter's teacher. Dang.
Oh, that's dope.
That's dope. There you go.
Cool.
All right. Who wants to go next?
Go ahead, Fern.
All right.
Oh,
I got a couple of what grinds my gears, but I'm just gonna do one.
Okay.
What grinds my gears this week is promoters talking a big game, and what I mean by that is promising the fight fans a huge announcement for a huge fight for one of your cash cows and everything like that, and then you deliver hot garbage. First of all, and I'm using Ryan Garcia here because of this. You got Tugboat, whatever the hell his name is. I don't care. To go. Taco, whatever his name is. You're using him. Okay, cool, straight. But if you're promising something huge, you have Jorge Linares, who you could have signed up for one fight against Ryan Garcia. You have Jojo Diaz under the same promotional banner, who fights at the same weight class, who actually took on Ryan Garcia's opponent that was supposed to happen in Fortuna last year. You have Fortuna there that you could actually get, but you got to go. To fight Ryan Garcia, and that's the huge announcement that you promise us. Again, piggybacking off of what Steven said right now, you talk so damn much on Twitter. You do everything on Twitter. Oh, there's a big announcement coming up. There's a big fight announcement coming up. There's a big fight coming up. And this is what you deliver? No. Fight fans need to stand up and freaking rise above all of this and straight up say, no, this is not what we're taking. I know Ryan Garcia's fan base isn't really the hardcore boxing fans. It's more the teenagers that have parents that could get them to those fights. And I get that. That's a good market to have and everything like that. But us real fans, the ones who want him to fight people, real people, and were promised a real fight, shouldn't support this. Should not support this. And I'm just not picking on Ryan Garcia. I'm picking on all the promoters. I'm talking about Golden Boy, Top Rank, PBC, Mayweather Promotions. If they put on a garbage fight and they promise us a good fight and they promise something and they just can't deliver it, we just got to say no to it. That's why anybody who decided not to order the pay-per-view this weekend, good for you. That was your decision to do it. You didn't do it. Thank you. That's on you. That's going to force fights that's going to get made better, and they're going to put on a better show and a better product on pay-per-view. If you want Ryan Garcia to fight real fighters, don't support the fight that's coming up on April 9th.
A big shout out to Jaime Costecha, bro. That's all I can say. I'm not going to repeat his comment.
Big shout out, man.
Yeah, man. Go ahead. You're next, bro.
Man, what grinds my gears in boxing? I think what grinds my gears more than anything is just the fighters not creating the legacy in the ring. You know, I mean, I don't know where it took a turn. I don't know if it was Floyd with protecting that O or what it was, but to me, it's like we don't care about fighters who have losses. Honestly, at the end of the day, that's not going to make or break. These pound for pound rankings all just go on personal bias, personal opinions on what it is. There's no certain accolades that we have to fill out. While strength, this, that, they fought this person resume, and this makes them the top pound for pound. There's no rules when ESPN, when Steve Kim, when Boxing Scene, when us make our little pound for pound rankings that we've all have, you know. And the thing is they got to get in there and create that legacy in the ring. They got to get back in there fighting each other, you know, just like what Fern was saying, you know, at the end of the day, the fights that we remember, right? I can't tell you how many losses Israel Vasquez has, right? But those wars between him and Marquez, we all remember.
Right.
I can't tell you off the top of my head what Mickey Ward's record is, but I can remember where I was when I first watched that Gotti Ward fight on HBO, you know, and these are the fights that have to happen. And I think promoters and managers need to let their fighters become special in the ring and create a legacy in the ring, not selling shit on the internet and through social media. Because somebody like a Gabriel Rosado, for instance, who has double-digit losses, always gives fans an exciting fight. Always in fights, man. And those are the fights that the people want to see, right? No matter whether you like technical fights or not, or what type of styles you like, when those all action fights come on, right? And you have a book that is written that has nothing but closet classics that are just all action fights. I have a book that's about 400 pages that was written by Lee Groves, and it's called Out of the Vault Closet Classics, about all these tremendous fights that nobody knows about, right? But they're wars, and that's what people want to see, man. And it's like, get in the ring and fight. Fuck that. Oh, if you're that bad, the cream rises to the top. You know, the cream rises to the top, and you'll be champion if you're that good. Get in there and fight. Prove yourself. Like you said, stop internet. Stop net banging.
I know. Dude, Jaime Cosecha needs to stop with his comments right now, bro.
No, man.
Yeah.
But that's what grinds my gears, man. They're just not fighting. You know, there's piggybacking on what Fern was saying. You know, like
I think this week everybody kind of have something, you know, that kind of like bonded with each other on what grinds my gears. You know what I'm saying? All right, man. Let's get into a little bit with the whole KO artist is the GOAT. Eli Ochoa says that. Oh shit!
Oh, hey, that's what.
Damn! All right.
Okay, what up, Ellie? That's
all right. So
that's the only Ellie we respect.
Oh, that's the only Ellie we respect here. Yeah. No, hey, we like Ellie. Said back too. Oh, come on.
We do.
Who doesn't like Ellie? I like Ellie.
Well, James don't like him.
Gyms.
Gyms really don't like him. Gyms kick him out.
All right, man, moving on, man. Cut it out. All right, welcome to the podcast, guys. Here we go. Keith Thurman's performance. I know what Fern thinks. I know what Stacks thinks. Go ahead, Steven. Give him yours. And I think I'm gonna lean more with somebody, but I'll let you guys know. Go ahead.
No, I think it was it was a good performance. I think it was good. It worked out good for him. Like he's again coming off of a almost 3 year off hand surgery. You have a lot of questions in your head that need answering, and I think he answered a bunch. I think he gives issues to the top dudes at welterweight. Will they fight him? Will he fight them? I mean, that's a real
question.
I mean, that's a real question, and it's I mean, there's only so many guys really that are left for Keith to really test himself against, right? It's really Spence Ugas winner, I guess, or Crawford. I mean, that's like it's not Spence's responsibility to welcome like Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz into like that level. You know what I mean? It's not his responsibility. he's earned the right to test himself against like the Ugas Spence winner or Crawford and let's see what happens. We'll see what happens. Thurman only has one loss, and that was to the great Manny Pacquiao.
That comment right there is exactly why Sean Porter got out of boxing. He's not there to welcome the new fighters. He's not there to welcome the new crop. He's there to test himself against the greats and the best at welterweight, and he's actually fought every single name that you can name. So he got out. He wasn't going to go back up to 154, so he got out. And that right there is where I completely agree with KO. Yeah, it's not Keith Thurman's responsibility to prop up Ortiz or Boots,
Actually, I think Steven put it the best. I agree with Steven's analysis on this one, man. I thought we were going to be a little split up on this one, but go ahead, Stacks, give it to him.
Here's the thing, man. If not Thurman, who? Because the thing is for me, Keith Thurman, right? Keith Thurman is on the back nine, man. He's on his way out.
How old is he?
He did this performance. He had this performance against a fighter that was coming off a loss in the lower weight division, right? You put him in there with some of these names. Is he going to have that same type of performance? I doubt it. Like I said, he was winded. He was tired by the 8th or the 9th round. He did win. He got hit. He actually pulled his mouthpiece out to catch his breath. He wasn't in the best of condition. And if you're looking at championship level fighters, his resume, yes, he's fought everybody, right? But at the end of the day, I don't see Josecito Lopez getting in there with Virgil Ortiz. They're in the same camp. Maybe Boots.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. But I mean, the thing is like that's to me, Virgil's already fought big names. He's at that level where he deserves a shot. You don't think Virgil deserves a shot? You don't think Boots deserves a shot?
No, I think they do. I think they do.
I'm tripping on the big names like Maurice Hooker.
So yeah, I mean, but
also Mean Machine, bro. Mean Machine.
That was a good fight.
That was a good fight. I'll give him
vignettes.
Yeah, no, but okay. But Keith is only 32 years old. Stacks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, I feel like
sometimes at age,
you're calling his death a little too early.
But the thing is,
you're calling time of death a little too early.
At that weight, man, at that weight division, we don't know what wars he's been in, Steven. Come on, you know what I mean?
But I didn't see. Yeah, I see what you mean about maybe like not being the sharpest ever, but I think there was plenty of reasons for it. I mean, it's almost 3 years off. That's a long time, man. That's a long time. Also coming off the loss, like, it's Manny Pacquiao, and you can, try to justify that all yourself. But I mean, we know like fighters get into dark places, man. Fighters get into dark places. Like, you have to be confident in this sport. You have to be tremendously confident enough that you feel your will is going to overtake another man's will in the ring. You know what I mean? That's a lot of confidence, and for someone to beat you in that for the first time ever in the pros, that's a big blow, and you get the hand surgery. I think, I think all those attributed to maybe why we didn't see the Keith Thurman knockout, or maybe, you know what I mean? Some like what we, something super spectacular. We did rock him a couple times.
Yeah.
he got hurt himself, which means he's in a fight. He wasn't like just boxing around and just like being cautious. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean. That's what I mean by great. It's more like a great personal win for Keith.
Yeah, right.
On a lot of stuff.
And that's what I'm saying. I think Steven put it the best.
I
think Steven put it the best out of everybody right now. You know what I mean? And I think, okay, if we were to give our top 5 in the division, like I said, Keith either is 5 or 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's say
resume-wise, yes.
Resume-wise, right? No, or even like in the division, let's just say either 1 or 2 is Crawford or Spence,
Crawford
right?
Spence, 1 and 2.
1 or
Crawford
2.
Spence, 1 and 2, yeah.
Then 3 is Ugas, right?
3 is Ugas.
So 4, who's 4 if it's not Thurman?
It has to be Thurman.
Okay, so then who's 5? Boots?
I say Virgil.
Okay,
I say Virgil over Boots because
he has the Maurice Hooker win. He has
the Mean Machine win. Yeah, Boots doesn't have those names yet on the resume. So Virgil was fit.
So let's do this. If Ugas is fighting Spence, wouldn't we want to see Thurman fight Crawford? Would you guys pay for that fight?
Yeah, I'd pay for it.
Oh, yeah.
But at the end of the day, Crawford has a fight with the top rank right now. Because he's suing him.
He?
Yeah, he's suing him.
Yeah, but he's a promotional free agent though. It's not like they have any rights to him. He could make a fight and still deal with his lawyers.
The lawsuit.
See, but that's the thing though. That's the thing though. When did he fight? He fought in November. We're already towards the middle of February. Haven't heard one peep of him trying to make a fight with anybody.
Well, he was trying to get at Spence, dog. Crawford was trying to get at Spence.
Yeah, but everybody knew Spence was going to fight Ugas. Everybody knew that. So he could try to pull Spence, but he's not going to pull Spence right now because Spence is going for Ugas and Ugas is going for Spence. That's it. So what's Crawford's plan? What's his game plan? He's a promotional free agent who hasn't done anything.
I'm giving it to you. I'm saying go with Thurman.
Like late November, December is like Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem then. But then that's the problem. I took time off. Yeah, but again, that's the problem at that point in time. With Crawford doing that, then he's just basically the welterweight version of Gary Russell. He only fought once last year. If he fights once this year, that's twice in 1 year.
Call Crawford Gary Russell.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Real quick, guys. Just to go back what we were talking about the topic of the 3-minute rounds. The WBC would not sanction that fight if the other organizations were go to 3-minute rounds. I just asked Mauricio if they would sanction that fight during the unification bout, and he says, "I'm sorry, but we would not." It's been a very delicate topic of safety, so they would not.
There you go, bro. It wouldn't be a unification fight.
That is from Mauricio Suleiman. So.
No, I know.
Should say that. Then she won't look as bad.
Katie
should say that.
Katie should say that.
That's to Katie.
Yeah. All right. But let's do this. Okay, but and Fern, so you're telling me if Crawford said right now, fuck it, he just seen Thurman come out of this victory, you know what I mean? He says, you know what? I'll just go against Thurman just to prove a point. I'll go against Thurman. I'm a champion. I'm the WBO champion. Thurman gets a shot at a title.
Sign the contract.
What?
Again, going back to what Teo said earlier. There's a lot of fights that get talked about on Twitter. Guess what happens to those fights? They don't ever send a fucking contract. So if you're not sending a contract and you're just fighting on Twitter, all you're doing is yapping. That's it. You're doing nothing but talk. If Terrence Crawford is 1,000% serious about fighting Keith Thurman, send a freaking contract.
All right. I respect that.
What would you guys think about maybe an elimination bout between Mikey and Thurman at 47?
Oh,
that's money.
No.
That's money. That's money. That's all that is. That's money right there.
I want to see Mikey at 140 and be serious about 140, bro. That's it. I don't know. I don't want to see my 147 anymore, man.
Yeah, that's money. That's all it is. That'd be a money fight. That's it. That's a money grab right there.
Or even somebody just mentioned, Gabriel Perales just mentioned Jose Ramirez's name. If Ramirez moved up to 47 to fight Thurman,
that would be top rank at BBC. Can they make it happen? You know what I'm saying?
Good, but it would be tough. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I honestly think will happen in the interim? In the interim, I think this is what's going to happen. Thurman more than likely rematches Josecito. Because of what happened in because of what happened in the Josecito fight and how everybody started talking about Thurman. So Thurman might want that get back. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think will happen in the interim. At the end of the day, leaving Crawford out once again, but Crawford needs to do something with this promotional freedom that he has right now. He's not bound by anybody or anything, and yet has done nothing to create any storm on himself other than just chase freaking Pearl, who's going for Spence. I mean, for Ugas.
Hyman's on today, dude. We don't want to see Mikey raising his hand after every round. Yeah, we don't, bro. We don't want to see that.
So it's like, I'm telling you, Thurman's actually, what's that is this. Thurman's been gone 2.5 years, and I guarantee you by the end of this year, he more than likely would have fought more than Terrence Crawford's had in the last 2 years combined.
I agree with you. But that's what I'm saying. Okay, let's do this. Would it look bad? Winner, most likely the winner of Ugas versus Spence will go against Crawford. Let's just say that, right?
We'll see.
No, let's just say
I think
loser goes against Thurman.
No, see, and that's where it goes. That's where it goes wrong. I think you got it the other way around. I think winner goes to Thurman. Loser goes to Crawford. I think you got it the other way around. I saw your wheels turning, and you had it correct.
No, bro.
Other way around.
I think the fans want to get a unification match, bro. That's what I'm saying. You just made the spiel about fans getting what they want, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you're telling me fans won't pay to see Terrence Crawford versus, let's say, Ugas loses. Terrence Crawford versus Ugas, and then you got freaking Spence versus Thurman. Of course they're going to pay that. They're going to pay for that because you're getting two good events there.
Yeah, it really just depends on the route that Crawford goes. Because if he doesn't go the PBC route for whatever reason, then all of these fights that we're talking about aren't going to happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he needs to go the PBC route, even in the division above, even at 54.
Yeah.
Because there's about to be one guy, and he's going to be with PBC.
Right.
So,
Exactly. I mean, and the only other route I could see Crawford taking right now is maybe doing something with Matchroom and going across the pond to fight Conor Benn. You know, that's the only other option I really see for him. But if he does it, I don't know. You know,
I still think that's more of a high risk, low reward fight for him.
Yeah.
Because for us in America, we would rather see him fight a Boots or a Virgil. While Boots and Virgil are more than likely in the Conor Benn side in the UK. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So, Benny Castellon said Boots versus Crawford would be a badass fight.
Yeah, but I mean, I want to see Boots against you know, some of the, like maybe like a Mean Machine or something. You know what I mean? Like I want to see.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I want to see guys like that. Like I want to see, you know, I mean,
by Adrian Broner. You know, I mean, that's a big name. Yeah, does he beat him? Of course he does. But you know what? It's a name on his resume. You know, and then Broner will sell that fight.
Yeah.
Boots, and to me, isn't selling shit. I mean,
and then to me, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Crawford again. I want Crawford to be active. I want him to be in a stay busy fight. And if he wants to stay busy and wants to keep it on the PBC side, I could see him fighting Josecito Lopez and taking that. You know, I could see Josecito versus Terrence Crawford. I could see Terrence Crawford versus a Victor Ortiz, you know, if they want to put him in there for that, you know. It's just to stay busy. We need Crawford to fight more than just once a year. That's the problem right now with Crawford.
And the thing is, too, is like, you know, somebody's saying that Tim Smith from PBC is downplaying Crawford's worth. You know what? I think Tim Smith's right. If he did, I don't know whether he did it or not, you know, because this is just, you know, somebody saying this on the Facebook stream, but unless he's in Omaha, he's really not selling out arenas. Right. You know, Crawford isn't a big household name. You know, he doesn't sell tickets.
To add to that, PBC can have their opinion about Crawford all they want. You know who downplayed Terrence Crawford's worth? Bob Arum himself did that. His own promoter did that. Yeah. So I give no smack talk to Tim Smith of the PBC on it because it was Crawford's promoter who actually downplayed his own worth.
Yeah, no, exactly. You know, and they can say, you know, I'm not in the insides. I don't know what Crawford went through with Bob Arum, but it's business at the end of the day. To me, it has nothing to do with race. It's business, you know. And if you ain't selling tickets, you ain't putting asses in seats. You know, you ain't gonna get very far, and that starts at the club level. You know, when you're first starting in these club shows, having to sell 150, 200 tickets to a ballroom, you know, I mean, that's where it starts. And if you can't build that name and you can't sell tickets. At the end of the day, you sell pay-per-views, bringing that money that you're worth. You know?
I don't see Crawford retiring.
How many pay-per-views did Crawford
and Porter do?
Porter do, yeah.
I think it was like 150.
150.
He's on a drop, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Imagine. Spence and Porter in 2019 ended up getting 300,000. You know, Crawford, who sees himself at the same level as Spence, fought Spence's opponent and only did half. That's how people see it. That's business right there. That's the simplest way I could put business to you. You want to raise Terrence Crawford's stock, he should have sold more pay-per-views. But they took Earl Spence and Sean Porter at 300,000, and they put the opponent that Earl Spence fought with Terrence Crawford, and they only got half that sold.
Yeah.
At a lower pay-per-view rate, mind you.
I mean, part of that is also because Spence beat Porter, right? Like had Porter won, then that, Porter Crawford obviously would have been even better. Boxing fans remember that stuff. And I think it doesn't help Crawford either that like Canelo was 2 weeks before the Canelo pay-per-view was also 2 weeks before his. And I want to say, wasn't there like
and
there was a big UFC pay-per-view
there was a UFC
Canelo as well.
And like, one other thing too is like all of Crawford's fights have been free. They're top ranked fights. It was pay-per-view. It was pay-per-view
ratings, don't they?
Yeah, they do good ratings, but this pay-per-view was because of Porter, not because of Crawford, because Crawford doesn't bring in numbers, and that was a PBC led card, I believe, when he fought Porter. So
it was the top rank.
Was it top rank?
And the problem was,
Porter Crawford was top rank.
Was it top rank?
And it was only available on the ESPN pay-per-view app.
Right.
It wasn't available like it normally did. So they shot themselves in their own foot, but while experimenting and doing that, they're the ones who dropped Crawford's value.
Right. Did they do it on purpose?
Thurman talked about that this week. He's like, man, I couldn't figure out how to get it. He's like, I almost didn't watch it, but somebody came over and like took a picture of the QR code or whatever and figured it out. He was like, I just couldn't figure out how to buy it. So that's a big problem nowadays, man. Like, these kids don't know about even going to Blockbuster and your movie not being there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You're just
out there.
Find the pay-per-view and boom, there it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, they're saying that Crawford versus Khan was ESPN pay-per-view. How much? What was the buy-in on that?
Let's not talk about it.
All right, there you go. All right, moving on, man. Let me get to the next one. I mean, we hit on all the questions I was going to ask about Thurman, but we hit them all, so I'm going to hit on this one now. Can Mario Barrios afford another defeat?
It depends on the opponent. Like, at the end of the day, to quote Stacks earlier, Gabriel Rosado's always been in a good fight, and he has double-digit losses. And guess what? We're still watching the guy. Yeah. At the end of the day, Mario Barrios shows heart every single time he fights. In the loss against Tank, showed heart. In this loss versus Thurman, shows heart. If he continues to do so, guess what? Yes, he can afford another loss. Yeah. If he says a dumbass comment like Victor Ortiz, I'm too young to get hit this way, then maybe that's when fans turn away from him. But at the end of the day, Mario Barrios, if he continues to show heart and fight how he fights, he can afford a loss. Definitely.
Victor Ortiz wants to fight Canelo.
That's another learning lesson for Barrios, man, and especially moving up. Came off a loss. He moved up to 47. He challenged, like you guys say, one of the top fighters in welterweight. One of the top five whose only losses to Pacquiao. So to go up and fight somebody like Thurman, I do believe probably the odds were in Thurman's favor to win that fight. He went out there, he gave a good showing. Did he get, he got his face rearranged, but I mean, shit, he did. It was still, pretty damn entertaining. So yeah, he's got worth. He's got worth right there at 47, definitely.
So,
feeding him. He's a feeder. You ask who's gonna fight Boots or who's gonna fight Virgil. There's a feeder right there.
Somebody brought that fight. If Virgil fought Barrios, I mean, I wouldn't even, bro.
Texas.
It'll be murder. It'll be a murder, dude.
I'll tell you this one. This is why they would never put that fight. They would not put that fight. The only reason why is because they could still use Barrios on the PBC side. Yes. Like, I'll give it to you like this. Spence versus Ugas, right? We were just talking about that. The winner is more than likely going to get Keith Thurman. What's the loser do? Guess what? You can put them as the co-main event versus Mario Barrios. They structured them right there.
Somebody like Adrian Bronner in a co-main event against Mario Barrios.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
And
You could
yeah.
you could reconstruct the kid. Like, he is not, just because he's been defeated doesn't mean he has no worth. The kid has a lot of worth still.
Lot of worth.
Again, and for the PBC side, they can use him as a feeder or they can use him as an opponent. And right now, he's definitely an opponent. He's not a feeder yet.
Not yet.
He's an opponent, man. He
definitely.
gives people, he gives anybody a hard time. He's, you know, I mean, Keith was, I saw, you know, Keith at the press conference was touched up. You know what I mean? Like, so was Gervonta. You know what I mean?
Listen to the main event and co-main event I just gave you on a pay-per-view. Thurman versus Spence with the co-main event, your Dennis Ugas versus Mario Barrios at $74.99. Please, people are buying that. That's worth the money right there. That is definitely worth the money right there.
For sure.
Exactly.
Oh, shit. Some people are saying, should Mario Barrios step away from Virgil Hunter?
That's a discussion for another show and everything like that, because at the end of the day, the kids still show heart and everything like that. Maybe he needs to start working on defense. But that's, again, a conversation for another day, because that's a completely different topic.
I mean, it's you know, I think it's good when young fighters, like, I don't think it's a bad thing, I guess. Maybe not, I don't think it's good, but I don't see it as a bad thing, because sometimes you got to learn something from somebody else. Like, Abner Matis moved a lot from trainers.
Jesse Vargas,
he didn't get worse.
Vargas,
you know?
Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah, Virgil Ortiz is doing the same. You know, he's learning from, you know, Joel, and then went to Robert, and now is with you know, Manny Robles. Shout out to Manny and Estrella over there. But yeah, like, they,
For one fight, though, right?
For this fight, yeah.
For this fight, I mean, who knows how that works out. But yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, you know, I think Mario, if he were to work on his power, maybe, like, I feel like he'd be more dangerous trying to work on his power at 47, because I think, you know, maybe, I don't know. It can only help. You know what I mean? And he's obviously tough enough. He's obviously skilled enough in other areas. I think if he got a little more power in his repertoire, it can help him a lot.
And also with this being his first fight at 47, you know, that's 7 pounds. You know, and I know, me being right around 200, 210, I feel 7 pounds. Like, I feel 7 pounds big time. There's a big difference between me being 217 and me being 210. So at that weight, from 140 to 147, it may have slowed him down. You know, it's an adjustment when you make that jump. You know, I mean, we seen it with Mikey. You know, I mean, when he jumped up to fight Spence, and I'm not saying that Spence wouldn't have beat him at 40 or at 35. I'm just saying sometimes that weight just doesn't. You just don't. You know, it slows you down. You know, when you're always at a certain weight and then you just move up. Hey, you know, maybe the nutritionist, maybe, you know, there could be a lot of stuff behind it. We just don't know.
Ralphie, Danny Garcia is at 154 now, bro. He's no longer at 147.
Someone said that Jaime kid said, I heard Stacks has Ugas' wife on his pound for pound list.
Dude.
What?
Dude. Come on, Steven. You can't read.
Oh my God, I was supposed to say that on the thing or what?
Nah, it's okay. It's okay, brother. It's okay. Dude, look at what he hit him with already. He already hit Stacks. Dude, he's all over him.
Yeah.
He's all over him.
All right. So both. Okay. So can we say this? And this, I want to get you guys' opinion. Can we say both of them, Thurman and Barrios, came out as winners?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Barrios didn't lose much. You know, he was. Yeah, it's a good move for him, and he's on his way forward. You know, in a new division, I think he'll do good. Hopefully, they give him somebody easy, man, because they didn't do him any favors giving him Tank and then Thurman. You know what I mean? Right. So hopefully he gets just a solid win and just gets again his confidence back.
Right. All right. That goes for me. Fern, you were good. Stacks?
I'm good.
All right. Let's go to I mean, to me, honestly, he is the fighter of the weekend. And that's Jesse Bam Rodriguez. Let's talk about the future, man. We were talking about him earlier. What is the future for Bam Rodriguez? Because, I mean, I heard the same thing. I think Steven heard, and I think Stacks heard, or it was Cynthia, that he was going to drop that belt. He doesn't want to stay in that division.
Yeah.
He wants to move back down.
Yeah, when I talked to him on Thursday, he said exactly that. He's like, yeah, he's going to do the Riddick Bowe and just throw it in the trash can and then like go down. But yeah, he was just like, nah, he's out. He wants to get belts at 108 and then 112, and then maybe eventually come back at 115. I think, good for him. I hope it works out. I think what Fern said earlier about him not taking advantage of like the Gallo and the Chocolatito and the Marti, like kind of the hot super flyweight division is, maybe not the best idea, but yeah, I mean, these guys are huge. You know what I mean? Like they're probably big compared to him. So I don't know. Whatever he does, I hope it works out because I think he made fans just himself. So He definitely is betting on himself, maybe going back down to 108 and being like, look, they're gonna follow me, because I know I am. The kid's good.
Steven, isn't Bam signed by Tekken?
Yes.
I believe so.
Yes, right? He's signed by Tekken, right? So see, there's big opportunities at 108 and at 112 for him to become a superstar in Japan. Those Japanese fighters they're very small. That's Tekken's known for signing smaller guys. They have Chocolatito. So he can go over there and become a global superstar in Japan. And Bam can do it, man.
And he has the Mexican audience behind him, so we're gonna like follow. You know what I mean? He might fight over there, but our eyes are still gonna be on it.
Yeah. So he's with Tekken and Matchroom. He's signed with both.
They could prop and Tekken. We see what they've done with Chocolatito, and so they could prop him up to be like the next. The next one, right after Chocolatito's gone, build him up through the weight classes and everything, and just get him that repertoire and that resume.
And Ralphie, I mean, we still don't know if Julio Cesar Martinez is gonna beat Chocolatito. He might not be Chocolatito, bro. So for us to say that Julio Cesar Martinez versus Bam will be fire, yeah, it would be, but we don't know, bro. I mean, we don't know if he's gonna.
And honestly, like I don't think Bam. I think like what Steven was saying. I just don't think that's the route they want to go with Bam right now. He took the fight on short notice, but I don't think they want him up there in that superfly division. It was a test, and it was win-win for Bam. You go in there and you win and you test yourself. You lose, well, guess what? You dared to be great. You went up 2 weight classes, but guess what? He came away a champion. It was more than he could ask for, and he became a rising star.
Yep.
Any final thoughts on that one? No. Okay. So, and I'm gonna, Rafi, this is where you're gonna get your answers. Okay. Let's say Bam does decide to stay in the division. Can he impact the division?
Say again, I'm sorry?
If Bam was to say, you know what, I'm not gonna drop the belt. I'm gonna stay here. Will he be like the impact fighter in the division?
Well, of course he would, but I think he's going to tread his own waters,
Mm-hmm. No, but let's say if he stayed, do you see him against Sarungvasai, against Gallo? Do you see him against, let's say Chocolatito beats Martinez. Can we see him against Martinez? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all those would be great fights, all of them.
Well, to answer your question, he's already made a splash in the division because he beat Quadras, a guy who was in there with Sarungvasai, a guy who was in there with Gallo, a guy who was in there with Chocolatito. He beat a guy with the name of Carlos Quadras. He beat him. So he's already made a splash.
What prestige?
If he stays, then again, the sky's the limit for the kid. Even if he loses, still sky's the limit because we know he's not in a division that's actually his.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you this. He would do something that Canelo hasn't done because Canelo never defended the 175 belt when he went up. He'll do what Manny Pacquiao never did and defend the 154 belt that he won. This kid went up 2 weight classes, and if he goes up to defend the belt that he got, he would already done something that those 2 guys who we hold in high regard never did. Defend a weight class that the kid doesn't belong in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So of course he's gonna make a big ass splash if he does.
All right. Any final thoughts about the weekend, man? Are you guys in agreement with me that Bam was the fighter of the weekend?
Yes, of course. Yes,
for
definitely.
Sure.
Yes.
Big winner.
By the way, Don FM is a really good album since you said any thoughts on the weekend.
All right.
Don FM is a really good album.
I know. I thank you for answering that question. I saw that question, but Steven answered the question already. Because somebody, I think Jaime Costecho put it, Was
he
was Manny gonna be at Brian Castaño's corner or Virgil? Brian Castaño, his dad's his trainer, bro. Not Manny. They just train at the Knockouts facility, right?
Yeah.
And he might come on here, bro. So you guys better practice your Espanol, dude. I'm talking to him right now. Brian wants to jump on here.
All right, cool.
That's awesome. Brian's your man, bro.
Right?
I'll wear my Charlo shirt.
Wow.
Well, even Steven wants to be here for that one, dude.
That can't be as bad as when I wore the Mike Tyson cocaine shirt when we had David's dad on here. When we had
I know, dude. This guy, dog. Come on, who does that, bro?
That's terrible.
All right, man. Anything else? No, that's it, bro. All right, guys. You guys are.
Oh, I got one last little hot take. I just remembered, and I want to put out. I put out the video already, but I didn't put it with the title. But so something interesting. I want to get your guys' take on it. So when I talked to Eddie this week or last week, I asked him. I was like, about the Bivol Triple G situation and whatever. Right? We're talking about that, and he told me. I was like, oh, and so Canelo's gonna go up to 175 and then come back down to 168 for Triple G. And I was like, have you talked to Triple G? Is he, he actually told me he actually hasn't talked to Triple G. So this kind of deal with Bivol and Triple G being part of the package, it's just kind of I don't know. I mean, I'm telling you, Eddie Hearn just told me.
I think it's going to be in Charlo because I kind of got some info that the fight is going to be May. There's going to be a fight May 7th, and it is going to be at MGM. That we should be hearing something within the next couple of days.
Okay, let's just say, but how are we hearing about that when we also heard that the guy from the cruiserweight said, I'll knock him out. So he's available too, bro.
He's also available. Yeah.
And if you heard it from the people that I think you heard it, they say they'll sanction that fight.
Yes.
So I mean, I agree with you. We are going to have a fight May 7th in Las Vegas.
It is going to be at MGM. It is going to be Las Vegas. It is going to be Canelo.
It is Canelo, guys. But Steven just threw the curveball here. And I like that. I like that.
Process of elimination here, guys.
Process of elimination. He just said it. That whole deal might not be there between. So where can they get this?
To go's Taco's cousin may be fighting. maybe fighting.
Yeah, first. Right now, you're going to turn off your camera, bro. So you don't want to see you about the cruiserweight. Okay. But here, let me do this. Steven, you interview Eddie Hearn with this question, right? That you're saying right now.
Yeah, I asked him about so talk to me about the Bivol Triple G deal, all that, and that's And
when are you uploading that? And where are you uploading it at?
That's out already.
Right.
Okay, it's out. Where can fans see it?
You know what? I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, cool.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I was trying to give you a commercial.
Yeah, you can see it at KO Artist Sports on YouTube.
There you go, guys.
Subscribe to him.
My bad. Yeah, you can see it at KO Artist Sports on YouTube.
And subscribe.
Hold on real quick. For you guys that don't know Steven, man, this guy's a hustler, man. He goes out there, he gets the interviews, he talks to the managers, he talks to the promoters, he talks to the fighters. He's been in the business a long time, man. He does great work, man. Go and follow his page, KO Sports Artist. KO Artist Sports, man. Go and follow him, man. I mean, I've known Steven a long time, so go and give him a follow. He puts out good work, man. If you want to see some real good interviews, man, go and check him out, man. Please subscribe.
There you go.
There's the link.
It's right there in the chat. Hit it and go in there and subscribe, guys. All right, make sure you guys subscribe. I always like having Steven.
A lot of people, real quick, man. A lot of people, man, that especially our fans that tune in, you guys are lucky. You guys get to go to fights. You guys get to do this and get to do that. Bro, it's a grind. For the people that don't know, we grind, man. I mean, all of us have grinded together. Me, Fern, Steve. I mean, we're there before the crowds are there to get a spot, to get these interviews, just to get a 30-second clip of somebody saying something, writing, being on a time deadline, editing pictures, having to write. I mean, it's big. Uploading videos. I've never uploaded videos, but I know Fern and Steve have, and it's a grind, man. It's really work. And like he was saying, sleepless nights. Yeah, you get out of that press conference and you're trying to beat It's the now. You're trying to sit there and beat everybody else and grind. Even though we all work together, we all still gotta get paid in a certain type of way, you know. And it's a hustle, man. And shout out to Steve, shout out to Fern, Ruckus, you know, all you guys, man, because you guys know what it's about. It's a very small, it's a tight family, the boxing community, man.
Mm-hmm.
These two guys are like my brothers. Seriously, like I've known them, but I will have all three of you guys. You know, I will always have your guys' back. And just so you guys know, man, it's not all about drinking beers and watching the fight and having fun. No, it's work. It's work. All that actually comes later in the week. That comes Wednesday, maybe before the fights, or Wednesday after the fight. But that usually that whole fight week, we're grinding. We're in that media center grinding. And a lot of times it's on our own dime until we get paid.
Yeah, Jaime's on you. Man, I think you have a fan.
Most of the time. Too much of the time.
Too much of the time.
It's on our own time.
It's on our own time.
Jaime Cosecha's a fan of Steven, dude. I mean, damn. All right, he said the favorite video that he has in your channel is when you were gaslights the Marlon versus Iniesta rivalry. Damn.
I remember that one. That was at where the hell was that at again?
It was at
Fantasy Springs.
Fantasy Springs.
I thought it was Velasco's.
Was it?
No, it was in the cut. It was out there. I remember, so kind of funny story about this. I don't think I've talked about this on like publicly, but so you know, I interviewed Marlon, right? And I had no idea. Like I just, you know, like during that time, you guys remember we'd go to like the fights. What was that, West Side Boxing Club, and interview the guys for the what was that show at Velasco?
Velasco.
Velasco.
Yeah, that was a show, bro.
Yeah, and so the Golden Boy stuff, and so you know those girls are just kind of around, right? So they were just in the same weight class or whatever. So I asked Marlon, and she gives me like this. She just kind of has like a little side eye about me even bringing up Sinisa, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna let this go. So you know, I asked her. Sure enough, she does a little this thing, you know, and I was like, oh shit. I'm like trying not to laugh because I know Sinisa. Like Sinisa at the time was going to the gym like around the corner, you know,
right.
And so I'm trying not to laugh, but you know, so whatever. So that happened. So I actually went to Sinisa first, and I was like, hey, like because I knew Sinisa, I was like, I want you to see this. And then I thought too, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna record her watching it, and I'm gonna like get her instant reaction, you know. So I was trying to like coordinate with her. It was hard to coordinate with her, but I wanted to get out with it before Marlon
anybody
else, you know. And so sure enough, like I meet up with Sinisa at the gym. Like I was like, all right, like I have something to show you. I'm gonna record you watching, and then I want to get your reaction. She's like, all right, cool. And you see her watching it, and you see her kind of like smile a little bit, and you could tell she's bothered, but you could tell like I'm also recording her. Like otherwise she'd probably be like, this bitch, you know what I mean? So whatever, I get her reaction. You know, Sinisa was put on the, you know, we all know Sinisa's a real sweet girl, so she kind of gives me the kind of sweet answer, you know, and just kind of, oh, you know, we're gonna see each other, and yeah, I knew she felt that way. I was like, did you really? You know, and so I left, and sure enough, on my way home, like Dean, I guess, talked to her and was kind of like, oh, maybe tell him not to put our response out because we just don't want to kind of, you know, whatever, like bring that attention, right? I was like, oh, it's all good. But I'm still going to put up Marlen's out, right? And so, yeah, I put Marlen's out. And I wish I still had that one from Sinisa, but that computer broke down. Oh. And it was on that computer. Because I would have loved to now release it, you know, and see like her reaction of first being like, doing this thing. You can tell she laughed at that part. I thought that was funny. She laughed at that part. But yeah, no, shout out to those girls, man. Yeah, that was a good rivalry. I was kind of hyped that I was part of helping that rivalry brew up.
Bro, I wish they would bring the Velasco back. Those are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Velasco were fun shows.
Velasco Theater was great.
A question from the fans, Steven, from Jaime Cosecha. Steven, do you have any videos of Jim of Fern standing outside the gym waiting for Sinisa to come out? Damn, dude, horrible.
I never did that.
I never did that. Horrible, dude. This guy gave her donuts, bro. He doesn't do that. Damn.
I never did that.
All right, man. Give them your handles, guys, right now, and then we'll jump into the predictions. I only have 2 fights that I'm gonna predict.
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead, Steven.
Yeah, KO Artist Sports on everything: YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all of it.
God,
TikTok.
oh, on God. AOR the sports. That's right. Follow him.
I'm godding him. And he don't even know who NM is.
Follow me, Stacks, on Instagram, Stacks_ringside, and Supreme Boxing on all social media outlets.
Congratulations to Stack on the new car. Saw that. I saw that. LA Fern _323 on Instagram, Fern _323 on Twitter. Fernando Pimentel here on Facebook. Let's chop it up.
He talks wrestling. He talks football. He talks what else?
I talk everything. We can talk.
Yeah, he
Attack on
talks
Titan.
everything.
We could talk. We could talk Attack on Titan. Whatever you want. I'm all in
Taco
it.
trucks, whatever, dog.
Hell yeah. And
Taco.
Diego Pacheco, you still owe us tacos.
Hell yeah, owe us tacos. He still owes money to
Wow. God damn. What is up with you?
Motherfucker, I one.
I don't even like the hot dogs outside of Velasco's. Outside of Staples Center, they're better.
That's right.
Yo, speaking of Diego Pacheco, I actually got a sparring video. I'm probably gonna put out tomorrow. Of I got sparring video of Diego Pacheco, and he dropped one of his sparring partners. It's pretty
Damn, we gonna put that out there, bro.
Sparring videos?
Sparring
What?
videos?
Taboo. What?
Taboo.
No one, they all said yes. I was like, wait, yes.
Fight House. Yeah, I seen you at the Fight House.
All right, so
I was like, Coach, you're sure it's good? I was like, you sure it's good? They were like, yeah. I was like,
we're really grinds my gears. You're gonna make my
Pepe was there. Pepe Suleiman was there. Ask him. So was Nancy.
All right. All right. Everybody got him? All right, here we go.
Got him.
Friday, London, ESPN Plus. I don't even know if you guys know who this is, but I'm only talking about the main event. Danny Dignam versus Grant Dennis.
I don't know those fighters.
All right, well, I'm going to go with Danny Dignam. Just for the fuck of
I
it.
don't know who they are.
I'm gonna go
well,
for
look
the
at 'em.
fans. The fans are gonna win.
Fans are the winners.
Well,
Fans are
if I get this one, I'll be tied with Fern on predictions.
This is true. This is true. Right now,
There you go.
I'm in the leaderboard.
Yeah, because of the goddamn fucking
He's Thurman.
Thurman versus Barrios. Oh, no, we should be tight because he picked Indongo, right?
Who's at the count,
Yeah.
man?
Yeah, he got
Yeah, where's
Indongo.
the
We're
official
tight.
count? Nah, there needs
Yeah.
to be an official count.
No,
should
no,
have
Sean Fitzgerald has it.
John Fitzgerald's supposed to keep it.
John,
Yeah,
goddamn
Sean
it,
has
you
it,
better
bro.
get on here.
This is right now we're tied. If I get this one, I'm in the lead. Danny Dignam, I got you, bro. By decision. All right. Anybody else wants to predict on this one or no? No?
Nah, I'm not even gonna put my. I ain't
I
gonna
got
put
Danny
my name on
Jacobs
it.
in the next fight.
All right, here we go. Saturday night, London, The Zone. Main event only. Daniel Jacobs versus John Ryder.
Danny Jacobs.
Jacobs, everybody?
TKO and late round TKO.
Oh shit, damn. You giving Jacobs a lot of bye losers. All right, thank you, Jaime. You're the loser, dog.
Hey, it's glad that it's our pleasure because the last time I heard, you give no one else pleasure.
Ooh.
Oh, you're horrible, dog. Damn, dude.
All right.
All right, dude, who you got? Danny Jacobs or John Ryder, bro? Come on, man.
It's in the UK. I'm going Jacobs UD. Jacobs definitely needs to win this fight because he's been one of those fighters that's been inactive. I know the last time I believe we saw him was against Gabriel Rosado. I think that was the last time that we saw him. And
And people think he
needs a
lost that
victory.
fight.
Yeah, he needs a victory. He needs to put on a good show, and I think he's gonna do it.
Okay, so you got UD.
Yeah.
Steven.
No, I don't got
Yeah.
UD. Stop spreading those rumors.
Jacobs. Yeah, I think Jacobs' decision probably. He's still. I think he's got enough to beat John Ryder still. I think.
I think Fern, Steven, and I have it the same way. We're gonna go decision. Stacks, you're the only one that has a TKO. What are you seeing to get that TKO, bro?
I just think I think he's hungry. I think he's gonna want to go in there and put in a show. He's gonna outbox Ryder and then he's gonna take it to him. He's gonna hurt him late and take it to him.
Hey, I just thought about something that maybe Eddie Hearn's working on. Do you think Demetrius Andrade ends up fighting Jacobs next?
That would be sexy.
Because
That would be sexy.
Andrade has fighting I don't know who for the #1 WBO whatever, but that'd be an easy fight to make, right? Like you're
That
both
would-
matchroom, you're both 168.
You would think, but after we got this Ryan Garcia versus To Go thing, when they got Jojo Diaz there and everything, I don't know what happened.
Oh, damn, dude, you're horrible, bro. You guys are horrible. Dude, just give Ryan prop, dude. Hey, big shout out to Ryan Garcia. He's fighting now. What's his name?
I think Ryan's doing the right thing. I was joking. It's not the fight we want, but like I told you guys, I think he's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
He's coming off
a layoff,
like some mental issues. Like we go through it.
Finally learning how to pull out.
I understand hand surgery. You know what I mean? Like you're not trying to fight Isaac Cruz. Wait, what'd you say?
Learning how to pull out.
Finally learning how to pull out.
Wow.
Damn. Fern, bro. Hey, Fern is a Jaime Cosecha to Ryan Garcia, bro.
Hey, I got the Ryan Garcia Funko Pop too. That's the bad thing about it. I actually got the damn Funko Pop chilling right there.
Hey, I'm gonna use
that shit as a voodoo doll.
Steven, if you haven't seen the Memorial Day show,
Don't watch it.
Go watch it, because Fern has Ryan Garcia on speed dial.
Well, Steven knows. Steven knows. Steven was there on the bus. Remember when he got signed by Golden Boy? We actually called him.
I remember.
Don't put me in the middle of this shit.
I remember posting it, and then he messaged me right away to take it down because Golden Boy was planning on making a big announcement like the next Monday. I was like, oh yeah, it's all good, bro. Like, I just happened to have a friend that was there that was like, oh, do you know who this kid is? He just got signed by Oscar De La Hoya. I was like, oh shit.
That's a classic show.
Everybody says that's a classic shit.
I still haven't seen it.
He hasn't seen it, bro. He was tore up. I was tore
the hell up.
Dude, his mom even came in and made a guest appearance.
Yeah.
That was fun.
The fucking primo coming in and out of the back gate. Smoking flowers on the fucking show.
Hey, man, I still haven't seen it, nor am I going to watch it.
All right,
guys. Hey, are we gonna have a show? Are we gonna have a show next week? Because next week is Valentine's Day.
Not on Monday, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's is Monday, fool. Are we gonna have a show next week?
I'm having my Valentine's Friday night after the Tigres concert.
There you go.
For the Tigres, Ramon Ayala.
Friday. Yeah, he said. Do you have plans on Valentine's?
I got no plans on Valentine's.
You have plans?
A Monday, dog.
Please, if I got plans, they're on the 15th. Side chick day.
Ooh. We'll be on, bro.
If I have plans, it's on the 15th, bro. I never make plans on the 14th, ever.
For all you single people, next week we'll have the rundown, man. There you go. I'll do that.
And we'll talk about people in the house. Hey, and next week's show is about the world's greatest love story of two fighters that should have gotten together a long time ago, but they're finally doing it. Kell-Brook and Amir Khan.
Oh my God.
There you go. Thank you very much. All right. With
that
said, guys, go ahead, guys. Thank you very much. Don't forget, follow KO Artists. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere. All the platforms. See y'all next week. Yes, we're going to have a show, man, next week.
Who cares about the Rams?
Let's go, Rams. There you go. Let's go.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's good seeing you guys, man.
All right, man. You guys too. Peace.
Yeah, it's good seeing you guys.
Peace, guys.
You guys.